And we continue learning Dirshu Mishnah Bura, the halachis of yayin during a Seudah, middle of Siman Kof Ayin Dalid, and we are up to Sif Hey. Says the Mechaber in Sif Hey, Kol Masha Shasa B'toich HaSeudah. Anything that one eats during a meal, Daila B'bracha Achas, one bracha suffices. Unless when you eat, when you made the bracha, you only had das for one cup, and then you change your mind to drink afterwards. But if not, says the Mechaber, everything is included in one bracha in the Seudah. Says the Rama, so too, if someone comes to the Seudah, and they give him harbe kaisais, one cup, many cups, excuse me, says the Rama, mevarich al kol echad ve'echad have nimlach. You make a bracha, because that's called changing your mind. Now, many of us are listening to this and saying, what? Why is that called nimlach? What do you mean? Every drink is separate and you didn't have in mind to have another drink? Obviously, we have to see what that refers to. Vayin the command, Siman Kof Ayin Tes. Continues the Rama. So makes the bracha of Birchas Nesuin. And he doesn't know where the kais is going to reach. You didn't make the hagafen. So if you end up getting the kais shal Nesuin, the kais of the chuppah, the kais of the shever brachas, and you make a bracha on it, you're going to have to make a hagafen. Says the Mishnah Berurah over here, even not at one time, it's all considered one bracha. Why? Because the pashtus is, says the Mishnah Berurah, that if you made one hagaf and your das is and everything you drink in the meal, and everyone can understand that, you have a glass of wine with the fish, or similar by kiddush, but here we're just talking about during the meal particularly, your mindset is, if I have more wine, of course it's going to be included as well. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sifkat Yudches, Lo Yahayadaitai, but this is the Mechaber that continued. But this is only if, when you made the bracha, you did not have in mind to only have one cup, because if you did, then you need a new bracha. Says Mishnah Berurah Tzalei Marshayadaitai, Shelo Lishtais Elo Isa Kais. You had in mind to drink only that cup and nothing else. You said, I'm having one cup and nothing more. Now, parenthetically, we have to mention what happens if you're that guy that says, I'm only having one cup, and you always have more. Similar to on Tuesday evening, you sit down to have a piece of cake, you call yourself a piece of cake, I'm having one piece of cake, one mezainis is finished, zehu. And then what happens? 20 minutes later, you have a second piece. 20 minutes later, you have a third piece, a fourth piece, a fifth. What's going on over here? I'm going to have one Mike and I'm going to have one candy. I'm going to have 5 candies. And then what happens? You have more and more and more and more. Is that called nimlach, or maybe that's actually your das? That's a different discussion. But over here, Bishmur is discussing a normal, healthy, happy person. Not that none of us are not. That you have one cup. And that's all you're going to have. And then, because of Taz do adin linyan achila, says the Taz regarding eating the same, like we just said. Excuse me, I didn't realize the Taz is right here. Apologize. Okay, so we just said, you buy yourself one lachem. That's your mindset. And then you're hungry, so you send for another one. You have a second bite of pizza. Now the Mishnah Berurah is showing us via this taz how far this goes. Even hamaitzi, if you wasn't in your mindset, then you need to make a new bracha. Now, the case of pizza, I just said, might be a good case. You order a slice of pizza, you sit down, eat your slice. You order your 2 slices, whatever it is. Afterwards, you're hungry. What do? You order another 2 slices. Then you got to make a new bracha, says the Taz. Vatam, what's the reason? Because your actions show that what was your mindset? Only to eat that which you bought, which was the one slice, which was the one pie of pizza. Because if not, why didn't you buy more? There's a reason you bought only one slice. The reason is because that's what you wanted. And therefore, now that you're having more, you have to make a new bracha. You had a taivatim more. Says Mishra Lechem. That was the case we started with. You have bread in the house. And you cut yourself a piece of bread. Now you want more. That's not considered a new bracha. Why? The derech adam kenu. Like we said, that is the derech of people, as the Shartzion says over here that what umistabras if katan chavzayin the Shartzion, and it's logical to b'shas yayin avinimlach b'chol gavni. So Shartzion points out, but by wine it's different. Filum lo yotzarach lavi koisheni min hashok. I don't know if that was right, Shartzion. Chaf. Yes, it was. Says the Mishabura Viter. Till upon b'shas bracha, because times when you make the bracha, you make the bracha, and at that time, you're like, okay, I only want one slice of bread. I'm not going to have any more. But of course, when you see so says the Mishabura, if you have the food at home, in my case of the cake, you take one slice of cake, and then you're like, I want more. You go back, take another slice. No new bracha. But if you ordered a slice, you ordered a piece, then you're hungry and you order more, that your maisiv are moichichem, it shows you weren't going to have more, then he's quoting the Taz. Then in that case, you'd have to make a new bracha. And we'll see the Dirshu in a moment. Shabbalis Seudah sivkatin yates. This is the Ramah. Hainu she'ina min akruin. You weren't invited. You just popped in, you crashed the meal. That's the reason why. If you're just a guest and you're crashing the meal and they hand you a cup of wine, be happy with that one cup of wine. And when you make a bracha, it's only on that one cup of wine. You don't necessarily think you're having anything more. You don't know if they're going to give you more. Come on, and that's the reason why you'd have to make a new bracha on each kais. You give you one cup, Baruch Hashem, you're so happy. And you're still sitting at the meal. That's not your meal that you just crashed. And then they give you another cup. Baruch Hashem, you make a new bracha. Half hour later, they give you another cup. You make a new bracha. Maybe you think, wait, at this point, no, you never know. You weren't invited. You weren't part of the roster. Everything you get, be grateful for and make a new bracha. And of course, if this isn't the practicalities of anyone's scenarios, that when you go and you crash your friend's Seudah, then it's not called crashing the Seudah, and you know that when you sit down, they're going to give you and give you and give you and give you, then of course, it would all be included in the bracha. But this was the mitzias of what it was there. When you make a bracha, everyone has to make a bracha. Let's say because you're not having kavana to be in the bracha of the mevar. You don't know. You're at Kiddush, and the Rav makes Kiddush, and you don't know if you're actually going to get a little bit of that wine. So you weren't having in mind to be yoytze with his agafen. And therefore, if you end up getting the wine, then you're going to have to make a bracha on it. Let's just see a few of the dirshus over here. Note number 21 says Dirshu, Al Kain, Masha Yishta Betoich Hasudas is going on the original din of the Mishnah Berurah of the wine that you're drinking during the meal. Even if you begin the meal in one place and you drink their wine, and then you change your place to someone else, says the Beralach and Kufayin Ches, you do not have to make a new bracha on the wine in the second place because it goes after the pas. We've mentioned this the other day similarly. So now we said, what about you ordered again? The Taz's case, you ordered a loaf of bread. Let's just go a pie of pizza. You eat your pie of pizza and you're still hungry. Let's pretend it's a mini pie. People are wondering why you're eating 2 pies of pizza. Fine, you eat a mini pie. Wonderful. And you're still hungry. So what do? Back to Uber Eats. You order yourself another mini pie of pizza. Says the Taz, you make another hamoitzi. Now, let's say you didn't finish the first one before you send the shliach to buy more. Then says the Kaf HaChaim, you do not need a new bracha. Mishnah Berurah in Siman Reish Vav says, similarly, if you have the same min, then you won't. So the Kaf HaChaim already is sowing some doubt. If it's while you're eating one, they bring you the next, then it will be considered a part of it. Says the Mishnah Berurah, what happens? Says Dirshu, what happens? You drink a cup of milk, and while you're drinking it during the bracha, you think you're going to get another cup, and then you decide to drink a cup of coffee with milk. Says the Shevet HaLevi, even though your das was only on the milk and on the coffee, you don't need a new bracha. Why? Because the derech, and this is a very huge line of the Shevet HaLevi, we keep on mentioning this, but now we have a Mar Makayim. The derech limzaik im coffee im chalav. It's normal to have milk with your coffee, and therefore your bracha of the milk will patter up the coffee. Now, if the ikr by you is the coffee, and you just put a dot of milk into it just to, give it a little color to remove the bitterness of it, in such a scenario, maybe you'd have to make a new bracha on the coffee. However, says the Dirshu, quoting the Shevet HaLevi, since the Exempting nimlach is not so clear, therefore you would make the bracha without Shem Malchus. And we'll just add on, if you your kavana is like many people's kavanas nowadays, that it's not on this item. You're home and you made the bracha on the milk. I'm only having milk. No one thinks that. You end up having a cup of water, you end up having a cup of coffee, you end up having a candy, you end up having 4 million things. Then it would automatically be included. That would be the stam das. Someone is sitting and eating in a store, and then they finish, they buy more. Says Dirshu 23, quoting Chaim Kanievsky. In this case, your meisim are not mechichim, therefore you would not have to make a new bracha. That would be similar to the cake at home, because you're in the store still, and therefore that is the derech. We'll stop over here and we'll pick it up from Sif Vav in the next year. B'siyata Dishmaya.